How's everyone doing? Today I have a horror Blu-ray collection update with 7 pickups. And if you've seen any of these movies, definitely let me know what you think of them and let me know which one of these is your favorite. Leave me those comments down below. And a couple of these ones I've had off to the side. I've been meaning to show them for ages, so forgive me on that. But then there are some new ones as well. But let's go ahead and get into it. The first one is amazing for me. It is Tales from the Hood, the Scream Factory Collector's Edition. Love that newly commissioned artwork. But wait, there's more. It is signed up right there and some on the back as well. So that is amazing. I love this movie. It's one of my favorite urban horror movies, an excellent horror anthology. And let me know if you've seen it, and if you have, what your favorite segment from Tales from the Hood is. I really love the David Alan Grier segment and the Corbin Burnson segment too. But really good one from Rusty Cundiff and Clarence Williams III. Right there is so awesome in this role. It's so creepy and fantastic. David Alan Grier, I've never seen him do like a dark role like this. Really blew me away. But they had a signing at Dark Delicacies, and it was signed by Rusty Cundiff, who is the writer, director, and then the character Richard, and it was signed up by a bunch of other people, including Corbin Burnson, Kenneth Hall too, did the special effects, Edward Chiodo, special effects, and of course Edward Chiodo, part of the Chiodo brothers for the Killer Clowns from Outer Space. But yeah, so that was amazing. Dark Delicacies used to do in-store signings all the time, and I'm not sure if they're still doing them right now, but I was able to get, there's the reversible artwork, and then there you go, that newly commissioned, and then the old school artwork. But yeah, I'm so thankful because I've been able to get so many different things signed from them. They're in California. Del and Sue, great couple. They've been around the horror community for a long time. But even though they're in California, sometimes, not all the time, they are willing to ship if you're not able to make the in-store signing. And, you pay for the shipping cost. But I'm so thankful. They've been really nice when I've talked to them and dealt with them before. But again, a really awesome horror anthology right here. One of my favorite urban horror movies. Absolutely love the cast. And I'm so happy to see this get the Scream Factory release for it. Some good special features in here too. And I wanted to show this as well because I've been a fan of this for a long time. How long, you may ask? Laserdisc long. And I was able to get this signed up by David Alan Grier. He came to my local comedy club, the Stress Factory Comedy Club, and thanks to my friend, I was able to get it signed up from him. So that is super awesome. And I love the reflective sunglasses right there. And there you go. There's some more shots right there on the back. Again, love this movie. I've loved it since I was a kid. Seeing it on, I think it was HBO back in the day. I remember I would sneak downstairs as a kid and watch horror movies. I grew up in the video rental store era, VHS days, and I would be enthralled at the horror VHS artwork, and my parents would never let me rent any of them, but I would sneak downstairs late at night and get nightmares and just want to see more though. But there you go. I've got 2 Tales from the Hood signed items. The Laserdisc, signed by David Alan Grier, which was my favorite segment, and then the Corbin Burnson segment would be number 2. And now the Scream Factory Collector's Edition Blu-ray signed up. And there's Edward Chiodo right there on the back. Rusty Cundiff right there. Again, the writer, director, and played the character of Richard. So super amazing. Super happy to have that. And I'm going to do a video soon on my signed horror Blu-ray collection because I have a fair amount of signed horror Blu-rays. And I like getting, going to conventions and getting things signed like that. Some people can't seem to understand that. If it's a movie that I like, yes, I will pay some money to get them to sign it. I don't know. That's part of being a fan. That's a thing. It's been around for forever. Sports, people have been getting things signed since before the era of Babe Ruth. But I digress. I can't wait for more conventions too, and that to become more of a normalcy again. It's starting to. I know they're having some, but I want that flood of conventions again, which I usually spend too much money at. I set a budget and then I always go over it. Next up is Lucio Fulci's Zombie with that awesome lenticular slipcover right there. Oh, I love it with the worms coming out of the eye. And this is the 40th anniversary limited edition new 4K restoration. And of course, with Blue Underground, they do the new 4K restoration, and then an actual 4K release comes out like a year later, which is the case here. So I got this, and then like right after I got this, they announced the 4K release. I do love this movie, so eventually I will pick up the 4K release for it and probably keep this one too because the cover's amazing. I mean, this has so many iconic scenes in here. You know, the eye scene, the underwater zombie versus shark scene, so iconic. But I love this one, a classic. Let me know what your favorite Lucio Fulci movie is outside of Zombie. He has a bunch that you can choose from, but a ton of special features here. Look at all that. This is one of those companies, though, I feel like when they announce their new 4K restoration, when it's not an actual 4K, I'm going to wait because usually like a year later, then they're releasing like the actual 4K. So many companies do it, though. Now, you know, how many editions of Evil Dead and Halloween have there been? They just announced the new Evil Dead, you know, box set thing, which has everything that's already been released, nothing new in it. Just comes in a new, bigger box, but people will buy it because horror fans kind of drive the market. Horror and like Disney fans, really. And I guess superhero comic book movie fans too. Those are like the driving forces for physical media right now. I feel like some independent stuff, Criterion, of course, too. But horror is like such a huge market for physical media. But they know we'll get, you know, the new lenticular slipcover, and they know we'll get the 4K release too. Not everybody, but a big portion of it. But yeah, I do love that slipcover. And there is the interior with the actual case, and that looks amazing right there. And I love when they have the booklets and everything, and they have behind the scenes information and photos and stuff like that. And this is for, I guess, a comic book. So that is pretty cool. And then there's a Maniac comic book as well. There's the booklet. And then you've got a 3-disc set in here, the restoration and special features. And then you have the soundtrack too, which I love when they include the soundtrack for these releases. And then you have reversible artwork. So that is pretty amazing. I know eventually I will pick up the 4K release for it. And, you know, I feel like sometimes though, you know, people can resell them and still, you know, make some good money off of them, especially if stuff has been out of print and rare, like Ticks, for instance. That's been out of print for a long time. Now, Vinegar Syndrome has announced they're going to release a Ticks Blu-ray with a new fancy slipcover. And I'm probably not going to sell my old one because I love that movie. And I'm probably going to pick up the new one for the new artwork because, again, I love the heck out of that movie. Just a really fun, entertaining, you know, the cast in there, and then just the effects, you know, especially at the end to Alfonso Ribeiro, Seth Green, Clint Howard. It's just a fun movie that I grew up with. So I'm going to pick that one up. And I feel like I got to start, you know, cutting down on some, you know, double, triple, quadruple, you know, The Thing. I have so many different editions of that. Killer Clowns from Outer Space, so many different editions. House on Sorority Row is another one I collect. I try not to do it, but then they get me again with the slip covers and stuff. And if it's a movie I really love, then I'll do it. I'll get it. And, you know, Ticks is one, Zombie's another one. But yeah, so let me know. Do you double dip? Is there any movie that you collect multiple editions of? Next up is one that really surprised me, and I really want the slipcover for this one. I know not everybody cares about the slipcovers. I do. I feel like it's incomplete if a movie has a slipcover and I don't get it. It feels naked without it. So if anybody has the slipcover for this and doesn't care for it or wants to do even a trade for it or wants to sell it, let me know. Under the Skin really surprised the heck out of me. This is an A24 studio right there release and from Lionsgate. A24, it's a mixed bag for me. Some stuff I like, some stuff I don't like, but they always have creative ideas, so I'll give them credit for that. But this one, going in, when I saw the trailer and I heard people talk about it, I wasn't that enthused, and I waited a long time to watch it, but I'm so glad that I did because I love the heck out of this one. It can be, you know, called art house horror if you like, but I just thought it was really unique, a fresh idea, and a really interesting way to showcase it. And I love the cinematography. I loved the score, the acting. It was just very surreal, the feel throughout, like almost dreamlike. You know, some erotic aspects as well. Scarlett Johansson is stunning. She plays like an alien, and she's in Scotland. And there's one scene where this guy has elephantitis, I guess. And it was an actual actor. I had to look that up afterwards. I thought that was really interesting casting, and you know, that happens in the world sometimes. So and it was an interesting choice to have that featured. But as another thing that kind of stood out for me, a unique aspect for this movie, but there's scenes in here where she's essentially like luring these men into like this dark room to be essentially consumed by an alien force. And it's like the blackness is all around, and towards the end though, she starts to feel like she is human, and really kind of changes everything. The whole perspective and how that plays out is just amazing. The ending to this, I love the heck out of it. Really surprised the heck out of me. I like seeing Scotland, actually. I want to see more Scottish horror movies. There's a few out there that I know of that are good, but I want to see more. Let me know what your favorite Scottish horror movie is. Let me know what your favorite art house horror movie is. But yeah, this one to me was incredible. This is going to be a polarizing movie, a love it or hate it movie. For me, I loved it so friggin' much, and I was not expecting to. I went in with very low expectations from seeing the trailer and hearing what other people were talking about it. But again, I loved it so much. So happy for this one. A really creative, unique idea. Love the way that it was shot. It just really stands out, and blown away by it. Next up is Anaconda. Super cheesy fun. Everybody knows this one. Eric Stoltz, Jennifer Lopez, John Voight, Ice Cube, Giant Anaconda. John Voight is so good in this one. The sequels are terrible. I know there was like a recent box set, skipped all the sequels. The first one is, though, just a lot of fun, and from 1997, and it's just you can't go wrong with this formula. I feel like during that time, there were so many different, killer animal movies, Lake Placid, Arachnophobia, like a bunch of these killer animal movies that came out, and sometimes giant killer animal movies. But I loved it, and this was just a really fun time. Definitely happy to add this one to the collection. J-Lo still looking amazing. I feel like she's doing the Benjamin Buttons situation here, but just kind of still stuck in the time. She's been amazing, stunningly gorgeous for like as long as since the Fly Girl days, for decades. Whatever she's doing, it's working, and I want to know the secret. But yeah, so just a cheesy, fun Anaconda, giant Anaconda movie. This one brings me back to my childhood. This is when I watched a bunch as a kid. Next up is another one that I know not everybody loves, but I like it. It's not perfect, I admit that, and it's Ghost of Mars from John Carpenter. My least favorite John Carpenter movie is The Ward. In fact, that's one I don't plan to watch again. I got rid of that, purged it out of my collection, and I'm done with it. I don't need to see that one again. But I will say it's the most hottest girls in a sanitarium. But yeah, this one to me, it's really rough around the edges. I love the new cover for this one. This is released from Mill Creek, as is Anaconda. I have the previous Blu-ray, which I'm going to get rid of, actually, because I like this artwork better. But Natasha Henstridge, Ice Cube, and then Jason Statham, who's not listed on the front cover, which is super odd because he's super famous and popular. Let me know what your favorite Jason Statham movie is. For me, it's got to be, Lock, Stock, and Snatch. I did like Wrath of Man recently, too. So pretty much any time that he works with Guy Ritchie. But yeah, this one to me is one I'm going to revisit this one because it's been a little bit since I've seen it. But this is set on Mars in the year 2025, and humans have been colonizing and mining the planet, and they're looking for a criminal there, and then things go very wrong when the deadly army of Martian spirits take over the bodies of humans who won't stop until they destroy all the invaders on their planet. So I like that concept. You can really look into that kind of concept, and it could work for Native Americans and just other groups of people who have been their land has been colonized and taken over, and things like that. I feel like there does need to be more Native American horror movies too. There's been a few recently, but yeah, this one to me, which is really surprising, on the back it says Ebert and Roper give it 2 thumbs up. I'm really shocked by that. I do like this one. I have an affinity for it. I've watched it since I was a kid. I do want to revisit, though. It's been a little bit, but from 1998. Let me know what your least favorite John Carpenter movie is. My favorite is right there. John Carpenter, probably my favorite director growing up as a kid. Directed so many movies that I just love. Halloween, The Thing, Big Trouble in Little China, Christine. Nonstop. That's what I grew up. They lived. I grew up on, that's my childhood right there. And then, even some of the later movies. So next up, The Witches, which is a Warner Archive release. I love what Warner Archive is doing with the releases. So many amazing ones. This one is interesting to me, though. It is a PG, you can essentially call it a PG horror movie, because that's really what it is. This movie terrified me as a kid for that scene right there. When you see any of the witches like that, Angelica Houston was so awesome in this movie. But this is based off of Roald Dahl novel and executive produced by Jim Henson. And then you also have Nicholas Roeg, who directed this, who directed Don't Look Now. Phenomenal director. And I know there was a recent remake of this movie, which I haven't seen yet, but Rowan Atkinson was really good in here too. And yeah, just, you know, the witches, they're having like this kind of like a convention. They want to turn all the kids in the world into mice. And one of the kids who witnesses it and who's trying to stop it, it gets turned into a mouse. So it is a crazy, wacky, fun time and some creepy effects. I mean, look at that. That to this day, it still creeps me out. But as a kid, this did freak me out. As an adult, it's, you know, cheesy, but still entertaining. And good storytelling. If it's something for a younger kid to really get into horror, this is a good start right here. The Witches. I like the picture and audio quality for this release, but I wish it had some special features. That's one of my, you know, minor criticisms for Warner Archive. I love what they're doing with the films that they're releasing that oftentimes didn't have a previous Blu-ray release, sometimes not even a DVD release. And then again, the transfers are really good, but I want some special features for some of these films, especially something like this that, you know, takes me back to my childhood. And last, and not necessarily least, it's Freddy vs. Jason. I love this movie, but after I picked that one up, I ended up getting the Friday the 13th Deluxe Edition collection right there from Scream Factory, which is amazing. Probably the best horror box set for Blu-ray. The artwork, there's the discs right there. I know when I first got this, people were like, oh, enjoy your defective discs. You're idiots. Everybody who said that is an idiot. Each one of there's 3 issues on here, and each one of them were like not even a full second of the issue. There's one scene where there's an issue in the opening credits for Friday the 13th Part 3, and then there was an issue with Jason Goes to Hell. There's like a wrist snap scene, like a split second, and then Jason X, I think there was an audio for like, again, like a split second. I feel like, I don't know how these people notice these issues so quickly, but it doesn't matter. I've heard people complain about like off-screen audio for a split second. Like people complain about anything. But anyways, Scream Factory had a replacement program and they got them out really quickly and they're amazing. And this box set is incredible. People just love to complain about anything and everything, but easily the best Blu-ray box set for horror out there. The transfers, the special features, the artwork, everything. And thank you so much, Scream Factory. That's what everybody should be saying. And again, the issues were so minute. The only reason anybody would have known about it is because they heard about it from other people and it just got a huge wave going. And then the replacement program was so quick, so prompt, and I appreciate that. And we should be applauding that. Quality control issues can happen no matter how much you know, again, for something for like a split second, it can be difficult to get that. And I understand that. I understand that, and everybody should be. And they did a great job addressing it. But Freddy vs. Jason, I got this before I got that, and I love this one. Who doesn't want to see 2 icons face off against each other? It's a horror fan's dream right there. I want to see more. I want to see a sequel. I want to see, you know, Michael Myers in there, leather. Like, to me, though, these ones are, I feel like Michael Myers for sure could be in that, you know, that kind of like supernatural aspect too. You know, you can't kill him, keeps coming back, and I think that really works well. And then again, special features on this one too. But now I get the box set. I don't need this one. So if everybody wants to do a trade and didn't pick that set up, let me know. Freddy vs. Jason from 2003. I want to see more. I know there was just recently, you know, the rights claim, Victor Miller, which doesn't seem great for the franchise. He created Young Jason. He didn't want to see sequels where Jason was the killer. He didn't like adult Jason, which is mind-blowing because that is, you know, 90% of the franchise right there. And that is your moneymaker. That's, you know, at this point, if you're going to do another Jason movie, Friday the 13th movie, you have to have adult Jason. That's just, I don't know, but we'll see how that shapes out, and hopefully good things will come from it. I want to see another Friday the 13th movie. I want to see a Friday the 13th in the snow. I live in New Jersey. The first one was shot, Camp Crystal Lake was in New Jersey, and it snows here. And it snows in New York too. Jason Takes Manhattan. In fact, I feel like the worst snow I've ever seen was in New York, blizzard back in the day. But yeah, I want to see a snowy setting Friday the 13th. Make it happen. I know we had, Never Hike in the Snow, the short kind of fan-made film, which was excellent. I want to see a longer version of that. And Never Hike Alone, which is another one from them. Romp Stomp Films, I think it was. They did an amazing job. They should be doing big studio features, especially for Friday the 13th. I would love to see them work with the franchise legitimately through a big studio like that. So there you go. Those are the 7 pickups. Again, some of these ones were ones that I've had off to the side that I've been meaning to show for a while, but I'm a slacker when it comes to doing updates. But I picked up some new stuff, so I figured I would finally showcase them and show you them, and hopefully you guys enjoy that. Let me know if you've seen these movies and what you think of them, and what your favorite from these are too. And let me know what your favorite horror anthology movie is, your favorite urban horror movie, your favorite Lucio Fulci movie outside of zombie, your favorite zombie movie for that matter, your favorite art house horror movie, your favorite killer animal movie, your favorite giant killer animal movie, your least favorite John Carpenter movie, your favorites. You think about Jaws, PG, kind of mind-blowing, but let me know your favorite PG horror movie. Let me know the earliest horror movie you remember watching as a kid. For me, it was the original Nightmare on Elm Street with Johnny Depp getting sucked in the bed and the blood splatter up to the ceiling. I just always sticks out in my mind. Freaked me out as a little kid, gave me nightmares, but I wanted to see more. Killer Clowns from Outer Space was like another one, like right around that time period. So those are a couple of the earliest ones I remember watching. Let me know, would you like to see another Freddy vs. Jason, maybe Michael Myers involved in here, maybe Chucky vs. Leprechaun, some ideas out there. Would you like to see a snowy setting Friday the 13th? Leave me those comments down below. Hope everyone's doing well. Take care.